Goodbye, Cisco. OG member of Team Flash. Honestly, the best character on this show, or at least my favorite character. Cisco's awesome. He was always such a cool character. Even though the past couple seasons he hasn't really been the greatest, but I still love him, and I'm gonna miss him. Gonna miss me some Cisco. But anyways, guys, that is what this whole episode was about. The Flash Season 7, Episode 12, Goodbye Vibrations, because we're saying goodbye to Cisco. We're saying goodbye to Vibe, even though we technically already said goodbye to Vibe as a hero, a while ago. This was a great episode. I mean, it wasn't like a hugely impressive episode, but I feel like it was a really, really good send-off for Cisco Ramon. And I believe he's actually set to return in the finale of Season 7 as well, so it's not goodbye forever, but it's his farewell as being a series regular, which is still very, very sad. But before we get into this, guys, of course, spoiler warning if you haven't seen the episode yet, and let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. But let's go ahead and get into this. So we start off the episode when Cisco and Kamila, they break the news to Team Flash that they are leaving Central City tomorrow. And I mean, you'd think they kind of give them a bit more of a heads up instead of like, hey, we're leaving tomorrow. You'd think they'd say that at least like a week or two ahead of time, but no, they just spring it on them like, yeah, we're leaving tomorrow. But Cisco actually got a job at Argus, which is really interesting. So they're going to be moving to Star City, and Kamila is going to go join him after her art exhibition thing. So that's pretty cool that he's going to be going to Star City. Leaves the possibility open for future crossovers, maybe. So that's pretty cool. But something we've actually pretty much felt would be happening is Cisco's leaving pretty much since Chester was introduced, because Chester is a very similar character to Cisco, so we kind of felt like, oh, Chester's just going to be the new Cisco, and that's basically what happened here, because Cisco did a little inventory with Chester, and you get to see some cool items from the past, like the OG Flash helmet, like when he was just practicing running, and Captain Cold Gun, and stuff like that. And he's basically passing the torch. He is passing all of this stuff on to Chester because he is going to be the new Cisco of Team Flash, which is kind of sad when you think about it, that Cisco's basically just getting replaced. But, I mean, that's basically the character that Chester is. That's basically the mission that he fills. But speaking of mission, this is the last mission of OG Team Flash. The trio, the Three Musketeers, the Dream Team, Barry, Caitlin, and Cisco. And their mission is they got to take down the Rainbow Raider 2.0, which I think is just so happens to be that this is June, Pride Month, and you got the Rainbow Raider. Coincidence? I think not, especially because when the Rainbow Raider first popped up, it was literally at the bottom of the screen, CW Pride in the rainbow colors. So, yeah, that's definitely something they did on purpose there. But when Barry and Cisco go out to take on the Rainbow Raider, things don't go as they planned, because they thought they could just defeat her as they did the original version, but no, it's not so easy, and her powers actually get a hold of Cisco and make him super happy, and he's basically drunk for most of this episode, which honestly was hilarious, seeing Cisco just so out of it, but it was so fun, because then after this, he actually was getting babysat by Chester, but then he got loose, and he actually messed up Barry and started playing a video of like neon cats on his screen or right in front of his face while he was running, so then he couldn't see, and then he ended up getting caught by the Rainbow Raider, and then he got Rainbow Raidered as well. So then when he gets back to Star Labs, he's all out of it as well, and you can tell that they really had fun filming the scene, because they're just all over the place just having fun. You got Barry over there breakdancing. You got full-on breakdancing Barry, which was hilarious, and something I was actually kind of hoping for here when they started doing this whole when Cisco and Barry got Rainbow Raidered, was that there would be some sort of breakdancing element here, because that's actually a big thing in the comics, is the character of Vibe is a breakdancer, and he has big breakdancing stuff. We've never seen that in the show, so we get to see some elements of that in this episode, and it's mostly Barry, and damn, Barry got some moves right here, but that was honestly just, again, hilarious. But Chester did show up and managed to free them from the Rainbow Raider spell, actually using some of Cisco's tech. And then we find out actually more about her plan with how she's more of a Rainbow Robin Hood, where she's stolen all this money and all these jewels and stuff, and then she's got it all in this giant blimp, and she's flying it over Central City, and she just wants to dump it all out on the city and give it all back to the people who should rightfully have all this stuff. And so they gotta go stop her, because this blimp is actually gonna crash into this stadium where a football game is going on. So Cisco is the one that saves the day in this episode and is able to steer the blimp away from the stadium. So that is great right there. But then we get into the ending with the sad goodbyes. So many goodbyes. So sad because, again, Cisco is passing the torch to Chester, and he gives him all of his designs and also gives him his workshop or lab as well. So, again, Chester is basically going to be the new Cisco. So that role is still going to be filled here. But then we get this really nice moment here after Chester leaves, when it's just Cisco. It's his final moments in Star Labs, and he just looks around the room, and you get, of course, this memory montage of flashbacks and all these crazy scenes throughout these last 7 seasons with Cisco. A quick montage of him naming a bunch of villains, which was awesome, and just all these great memories that we've spent and what we've experienced with this character of Cisco Ramon. So it was great to see here. But then after this, we get the goodbye parties. There's a goodbye Kamila party with the Central City Citizen, and then of course the goodbye Cisco party at Barry's apartment, where Cisco actually gives everybody like these shirts, like T-shirts with Star Wars memes on them, which was awesome. And then it all ends with them doing karaoke to Poker Face, of course the Lady Gaga song, and I'm pretty sure that's like a callback to one of the earlier seasons with Cisco, so that was cool to see that again. And again, just such a fun moment to end it on. You know, some things when it's like this where a character leaves a show or it's like the end of a show, they just make it super sad and stuff, and like it should be, and we had those moments in this episode, but I like that it ended off just on a fun note with this character. We had a happy ending for this character, and we know he's going off to be with the love of his life, and he's got this great job lined up for him. But that is the end of Cisco. And again, we'll be seeing him at the end of this season. But for now, this is the end of this character as a series regular. But that is not where the episode ends, because we do get, of course, our little cliffhanger after the Flash logo flashes, you know, right on the screen. And it's with Cecile, who is acting a bit weird in this episode, that she was like at the crime scene that morning. And she goes home and she starts hearing this voice, and then she looks in a mirror, and it looks like her, but with like this golden mask on that kind of reminded me of like a Court of Owls mask, but gold. Also kind of reminded me of Psycho Pirate, who we actually saw in the Elseworlds crossover, who was a big part of the Crisis on Infinite Earths comic series, but never actually appeared in the crossover event. So I don't know if it's tied to that. I'm really confused by this and what it means for next week's episode. I didn't get to see the promo, but definitely looks like it's going to be an interesting one. But anyways, guys, yeah, this was it. This was the end of Cisco Ramon. Goodbye, Cisco. I feel like it was a great episode, and again, just such a good way to end off this character's journey that he's been on for these past 7 seasons. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. What did you think about this? Are you sad that Cisco is gone? But thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything goes on in the DC life.